All right, so now let's go ahead and create the controller for the reset password functionality. So I'll come here, I'll go to my controller and let's proceed. So we said that there are two things we're expecting from the request, and that is the params, which is that long string of token, and then we're also expecting a password. Now let's go ahead and get those stuffs out. So here, give some space. So here I will get the, let's just get the password first. So I'll say const and I'll destructure it out of the body password. That's going to be equal to request.body. Then I will now get the params, sorry, the token, and then I'll just call that reset token, and then I'll get that from the request.params. Great. Now let's come down. Oh, what did I do here? Control Z. Okay, request.params. So let's come down. Now we've gotten the two pieces of information or data that we need to execute the reset password functionality. Next, we need to convert this, this reset token. We need to convert it to what was stored in the database. You know what we stored in the database is a hashed version of this reset token. Allow me to remind you. So if I scroll up here, you'll see that this is where we created a new token, but it's a hashed token. So we stored a hashed version of the reset token. So we first created the reset token, then here we hashed it. Now what we are getting back in the params is just the reset token. So to compare it to what is in the database, we are first going to hash it with this same procedure. So I'm just going to grab this guy here. I'll copy that, and then I would come down here and paste that in. So what I want to do is, you see this reset token here, I'm going to hash it first. Hash token before saving to the database. No, it's not before saving to the database. I want to hash the token, hash token, then compare. So then compare to that one in the database, to token in the database. All right, so I'll hash the token first, then I'll now compare it with what is in the database. So let's come down here and let's look for the one in the database. So let's find the one in the database. Find token in DB. I don't know what's wrong with my typing today, but no problem. So here I'll say const, and I want to find the token in the DB. So I'll just give it a variable of user token, and it's going to be equal to, I'll await token dot find one. Let's open that up. Now, what is the token we want to find? Remember, we want to find the token that belongs to the specific user, right? So here we'll say token, and then we'll now specify the token we want to find. First, we want to find this hashed token, because remember, we need to hash it first before we find it. So hashed token, that's one. Then another thing is that we want to check whether it has expired. So there is the expires at property that we also added. So expires at, and what do we want to check? Well, let's open an object here. There is a way we can do this in Mongoose. So we want to check if is greater than the current date or the current time that we are. So here I'll just say date dot now, and then like so. So I'm finding the token using this hash token I created here. Then I also want to check if the token that I found in the database has expired. In other words, if it's greater than the current time that I accessed it. Right, great. So I'll come down here and say if let me just open this up first. So what I want to check for is, what if the token I found, either I did not find the token or this second property was not met. In other words, the token I found had expired. So I'll say if not user token, then what do I want to do? Well, I'll just throw an error, fall for error, or error not found, or invalid or expired token. So let me just grab an error somewhere here. This one is fine. I'll copy that and I'll come down here like so. and then I'll paste that in. So I'll say 404, and then I'll just say invalid or expired token. Invalid or expired token. Yeah. Okay. Now we'll come down. Supposing the token is valid, it has not expired. Well, next we want to find the user. So let me just find user. All right. So now I'm going to say const user. We already know how to find the user in the database. That's equal to await, and then I'll use my user model dot find one. Open that up. Now, how do we find the exact user? Well, remember when we saved the token, we referenced the user ID. Okay, so this user ID here, mongoose.schema.type, we set it to be an object ID and we referenced it to the user. What that means is that it's that specific user's ID that will be saved in this property. Okay, so we can come here now and say we want to find a user, and then I will say underscore ID, and then I'll just reference the user token. Remember, in the token we have a user ID property, so user token dot user ID. So that's it. So we're going to find that user, then we're going to set the user's password. So I will now say user dot password, and I'll set it to the password we got from the body of our request. So where is that? This very password here. So I'll come down here and set it to the password. Okay, next I'll save the user. So we'll come down, await user dot save, because we've made some changes to the user information, so we save that. Okay, then let's just send a message that the password has been successfully reset. So I'll just come down here and say response dot, let's first set the status, and I'll just do it to 200. Okay, then I'll say .json, and then let's just open it up, and then let's send a message to the front end. So I'll just say message. What would the message be? Password reset successful, please log in. That seems like a nice message. So here I'll just say password reset successful, and then please log in. Yeah, so that's fine. So technically this is what we need to reset our password. You see how we went through all of the processes step by step. Now it's time for us to test. So I'm going to save, and then we're going to do this one more time, because if I say let me test with the email we sent earlier, that email has probably expired. So I'll use a fresh email to test. So first off, what that means is that I'll first come here and do a forgot password, so that I can send an email to my own email, fresh email. Then I'll now use that token in the email to reset the password. Okay, so let's do that. But just in case maybe for some reason you're not getting an email, like you're not getting your emails delivered, what I'll do is I'll just come back here to my forgot password functionality, and I'll log the token to the console. So after we created the token here, this guy here, I'll just come down and log it to the console, so that we have access to the token there. So log and reset token. Yeah, so by doing this, we don't even need to go to check our email. Once we click on reset password, at least when the token is created, it will be logged to the console, so we can just copy it from the console and set a new password. Okay, all right, so let's reset that. Aha, so let's go ahead and test. So I would send the reset email to this email I created. Let's do it again. Send. Aha, so you see we get a success message and reset email sent. But if you come to the console here, you see that we also have the token. Okay, let me see if it's sent, because sometimes my internet Okay, for me, I actually got it delivered, so I'm sure you had a noise just now. That's my phone. So let me come here, and this is the token I need to copy. So I'm going to take this token. Remember, it's only valid for 30 minutes. So I'll just copy it like so. I think I'll just right click. Oh, I cannot right click. I'll just Control C to copy. So Control C. Aha. Then I'll come down. I can bring this down. Let me come here and go to my reset password. Now that token I just copied, I would put it here as the params. So I'll paste that in here like that, and then I would set a new password. So password, and I think the current password, let me check, login user is Zeno123. So I'll just set it to Zeno12345. So reset password, and then I'll just come here, delete this, and say Zeno12345, and then I would go ahead and send. Okay, so we get a message, password reset successful, please log in. That's the message we get. Now let's come to login here, and first I'll try to log in with the previous password. So here I'll click on send to try and log in, and let's see what we get. Aha, so you see we now get invalid email or password. Now let's go ahead and make this Zeno12345, which is the email which is the new password we created or we reset, and then I'll click on send. Aha, you see we are now able to log in with the new password. So what this means is that we've been successfully able to build out the forgot password functionality and the reset password functionality, which is great. All right, so that's about it for the functionalities that concerns the authentication, user management, and stuff. There's a lot more we can do, but I mean we have to stop somewhere in the project, right? So that's about it. So in the next one, we're going to go to another feature in the back end. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one then.